All praise to the Most High, our Heavenly Father, and to our Mother, Wisdom, Holy Spirit, to our brother Yahweh Shai. You're not going to believe this. Now, this thing is, okay, it said Thailand. Now, only reason why I clicked on it, because, I live in it's like a veteran's home, you might say. It's really nice over here. And I'll never forget the guy, when I first saw him. And then he walked into the building just like he was a black guy. He was a regular guy, I guess it looked like. He walked in the building. And I never forget, I went to take my trash out and went to the dumpster. And I saw this military, it was beyond a sea chest. I was a merchant seaman. I traveled a lot. I have like what you call a sea chest. It's like a thing you carry all your belongings in. It's not very big. You can carry it. You got to go up and down the gangway. It could be a small boat. You can't carry a lot, okay? It's not very big. So when I saw it, I was like, I looked at it. It had a door. You could put a lock on there. It had like a file cabinet thing. It had a little thing. It was like the baddest shit you ever saw that's come from the military. It was like a officer had it or something, because you had to be important for them to lift and load that thing. It was heavy too. It was military. I was like, wow. I said, maybe that guy that just moved in, that he, threw that away. I said, he must have a lot of money. He must be real important. I said, he's got to be. So the next time I saw him, it was a Sunday. So I must have been walking the dog. I was going out of the building. I was going in or something. And I looked, I said, who's that woman? She had a purse, a dress, a skirt, lady shoes, everything. Oh, shit, the wig, everything. I said, oh, man, it's the end of the world. That went from a man all the way right straight to a woman the next time I saw him. Then I was like, oh, man, it was unbelievable. All of a sudden, he would just go in and out, walk around like with, the thing they wear on their head, like a do-rag. This new thing they got, a bonnet. He's wearing a bonnet, wearing a little silky dress. So I didn't pay much attention, but I'm a very friendly person. I'm always around and stuff, and and I don't never be funny with people or something. So, I talked to him, something, whatever. Then he was getting Amazon packages all the time, and they would leave it outside. I would say, man, they keep leaving your package out there. Somebody going to steal all these junkies sitting in this building. And then he was like, yeah. And I think one time the elevator went out, and then he had some soda, some bunch of soda. I was like, I know this person that can barely walk up them stairs. They look normal, but they're not. So I was like, okay, I brought the soda, put it by the door, knocked on the door. And it was, oh, thank you. And then another time I started talking to him, and then he said, well, oh, no, I saw him. He was leaving with a bag. I said, wonder where he going? So I said, hey, man, where you going? I don't know. I'm like that. If you're one of the people that are like Transformer, I'm going to still call you a man. I don't know why, but I do, and I don't get no pushback. It's just me. People just like me. I don't know why. So all of a sudden, I said, where you going? And he was like, I'm going like 3 weeks or 4 weeks to Thailand. I said, wow. Well, no, it didn't happen like that. He was coming back. I said, you went to Thailand? I said, why you didn't tell me? Because I was always nice to him. I brought that soda up for him. I'm looking nice, talk to this person. And I was like, damn. I said, I love like African mask and stuff, or any kind of mask. I said, man, I'd have gave you some money. You could have found me a really nice mask. That's all I would have wanted, some handicraft. And it's no duty taxes on stuff like that. It's like, you don't have to pay taxes on it. I said, and even if they did, I would have paid you. I just thought he was being real funny, you see. I don't know. So then I got to talking to him again, right? And then he said, well, next time I go to Thailand or whatever, I'll get you something or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then he said, but the next time I go or whatever, he said, I'm not coming back. I'm going to stay over there. He said he found a place in Thailand that he moved in there like an apartment, something like this apartment. And then he could do whatever, he want. And then when he get a little bit older, he said that they could assistant care. And then after assistant care, if you're bedridden, they'll take care of you until you die. And he said it costs a lot of money. He said he paid, he must have been an officer in the military. So he gets those big $5,000 a month checks. Wow. Man, I'd really be able to help people and help myself with getting big money like that, bro. It was crazy. So then he's been gone like a few months. And then I was looking on there and it said torrential flooding, bad storm, Thailand was being decimated. I said, now you see that? He went over there and he was telling me about these so-called lady boys and they got all these people running around like him. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, well, if that dude's happy there, that's good for him. You know, most High gonna deal with whatever, you know. I don't really know the guy. So next thing you know, they talk about the storm. I said, oh, it's a bad storm. I said, well, that's good. You see, he shouldn't have been over there doing whatever he was doing. I said, that's all these countries are like that. They all are the same. Okay, it's no difference. They're bad people. So all of a sudden, they put this on the thing. Thailand finally bans Israelis. I was like, what? I said, now, here they go. We keep trying to tell these people, but you see these 4 images on here. They will not let go of white supremacy. Okay, you see that grin on the one here? That's white supremacy. You see that stupid look she got? White supremacy. See the guy here? He's not giving it up. And then the woman just has the face. And then a couple of times she says she was like brainwashed from a child to believe that one of them is an ish person. But I was just straightening up the apartment, kind of cleaning up. And I got all the way to listen, can I get over there? All the way to the end. Because I didn't want to just get up and change it. I said, I'm not going to change. Just let them talk. They were talking about how bad the ish people was treating them. And that's everywhere. They're here. And then it could be a lot more here soon. A lot more. Because they just said they had 5,000 more Afrikaners come here. 5,000 more. Under the radar. It's not in the news. Okay? So what they don't understand is they're going to have to leave. They can't stay here. But this went all the way to the end, how badly they talked about these people. But you got to hear this for yourself. I know I talked for a while, but I had to get this story, just like Big Levi. I had to get that story out first. That's why I was saying Thailand. And they, do your own research. This says the revolutionary change. It just popped on there after, a while. They keep putting anything they want. Well, or I saw Thailand on there, but it got all the way to the end. Now you're going to have to sit there and then I'll stop it at the point where you're going to know when you hear this how ridiculous it sounds. They're saying it right in their face. This is mainstream media. These people here are known. For some reason, I believe this guy is, and I think this woman over here, she's known. So these people, they probably know these people. Okay? And they probably got 7,000 likes, but I bet it's probably way more. Now, listen to the end of this. The very end, I got back a little bit because I don't want you guys to miss this. Now, listen to this.
Oh, was born in Disney World, they're not going to say, "Oh, I'm Disneyan." That's not a thing. And that's how ridiculous they are. So they have to be that arrogant and entitled because they have no legitimacy.
Go back.
It's like at some point, like, can't you just do a little bit of self-reflection? Like, hey, maybe we should be assholes, and then like, can't we just meet in the middle?
They need
no,
to
it's just anti-Semitism, Mel. Anti-Semitism.
No, you know what? When it's a fake nationality built on false entitlement. So it makes sense that they would.
Didn't Big Judah just say that? Just pretty much. Now they're saying it. So who are the real people? Why don't you just say it? Isn't that the most, I don't know. Would you say demonic or racist? I don't know. But then the guy is moving so fast, the guy got up and ran off. I didn't notice that the first time.
It would be the most entitled people on the planet because they're not even real. Their entire existence is a fiction. It would be like being from Disney World. Like if somebody was born in Disney World, they're not going to say, "Oh, I'm Disneyan." That's not a thing. And that's how ridiculous they are. So they have to be that arrogant and entitled because they have no legitimacy.
Look at this one. We know who these people are right here. Oops. Well, that music is probably on every single podcast. So all praise to the Most High.